13 of the NFL season. Unfortunately, I was not able to do one for Thursday Night Football, but I was correct in picking the Bills to defeat the New England Patriots, and they did cover the spread. So it was right there. So far, I'm 1-0 to start this week. And now to go with the games. Starting out for our 1 o'clock games, the Green Bay Packers with an injured Aaron Rodgers, who, in my opinion, I think should be shut down for the rest of the season, against the Chicago Bears, who won't have Trevor Siemian, so they're going to have Nathan Peterman or they're going to have Justin Fields. Either one, I'm not sure. But give me the Packers to win minus the 4. I think the Packers are going to, like Aaron Rodgers says, he owns them, and the Packers have absolutely owned the Bears during Aaron Rodgers' run. In fact, the last 30 years, it's been all Packers in this rivalry, so give me the Packers here. And what's the worst matchup of the week on paper? We have the Atlanta Falcons, who are wearing their throwbacks, looking to see if they can win their division, against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are coming off a big win, a win against the Colts. And I really liked what I saw from the Steelers. Give me the Steelers minus the 1 to win. It's basically a pick'em game. In Minneapolis, we have the Minnesota Vikings against the New York Jets. The Vikings are favored -3. They are far and away going to lead that division. Meanwhile, the Jets are coming off a big win against the Chicago Bears. Jets are trying to see if they can make the playoffs. But the Vikings are a really good team. I do question how they're going to be in playoff time. That being said, I still think the Vikings are a better team overall. Give me the Vikings -3. In what could also be a sneaky good game that people aren't thinking about, it's the extra 17th game. We have the Detroit Lions hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is the matchup I wanted for Thanksgiving, actually, because the Jaguars never played on Thanksgiving. That being said, though, the Jaguars are coming off a huge win against the Baltimore Ravens in the final seconds, and meanwhile, the Detroit Lions had a last-second loss to the Buffalo Bills. I think the Lions are the better team here. Give me the Lions to win minus the 1. The Philadelphia Eagles are leading the NFC with a 10-1 record right now against Tennessee Titans, who lost to the Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah, the Titans are winning the AFC South, but that's not really saying much. There'll be an A.J. Brown revenge game. I think he's going to go off in this game. I think Jalen Hurts is going to add to his MVP case. Give me the Eagles to win minus the 4.5. I'm pretty confident in them. Cleveland Browns are traveling to Houston. This is Deshaun Watson's first game as a starter for the Browns after his 11-game suspension. What do you know? It's against his former team, the Houston Texans. I know that Tony Busby is going to be in attendance, along with the 25 people that have accused Deshaun Watson. I don't know if he did it or not. That's besides the point. But what the point is that the Texans are the worst team in the league, purely based on wins. They control their own destiny when it comes to getting the number 1 overall pick. The Browns, meanwhile, with Jacoby Brissett as their starter, led the Browns to a comeback victory in overtime against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think the Browns are a better team, period. I think the Texans have the worst roster in the NFL. Give me the Cleveland Browns to win, and I see them taking the -7.5 spread. These two teams, if it were to end today, the entire NFC East would be in the playoffs for the NFC, but only one could win here. The Washington Commanders, who have been, I think, like 6-1 under Taylor Heineke and currently have the 7th spot, are facing off against the New York Giants in MetLife to see who will finish with a 3rd place in that division after this week. I like the Commanders here. The Giants have a much tougher schedule the rest of the way. Commanders have it slightly easier. I think the Commanders are be a bit more motivated here, so give me the Commanders to win minus the 2.5. The Baltimore Ravens are coming off a crushing loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars and are going to be hosting the Denver Broncos, a Broncos team that got shellacked by the Carolina Panthers of all teams. Broncos are not a good team. They have one of the worst offenses of the last 25 years. The Ravens, every single game they've been in, they've at least had a lead. And the 4 games they lost after being up by 10 points. So they could easily be perfect right now, but they're not. That being said, I have the Ravens winning this game, but I have the Broncos covering the spread. Even though the Broncos offense is putrid, I think their defense will see if they can try to hold down the Ravens rushing attack. The 4 o'clock games, one of the best games this week. It's one that I prefer over Sunday nights. It's Mike McDaniel against his old team, the San Francisco 49ers, another 17th game. Tua Tagovailoa is pushing an MVP case. Tyreek Hill, in my opinion, is the front runner for Offensive Player of the Year. San Francisco 49ers, they have Christian McCaffrey. They've been firing on all cylinders lately. I think they're going to end up winning the NFC West. But I think in this case, Mike McDaniel knows Kyle Shanahan's offense, and I think he will get the victory here. And I have the Dolphins winning and having the plus 4.5 spread. That's right. I see them winning outright. Then in Seattle, I think it's Seattle, whatever. The Seattle Seahawks are going to be against the Los Angeles Rams, a Rams team that's going to be on prime time the next 4 weeks. Good God. Including on Christmas. Good God. Especially as, if the season were in today, they'd have the number 3 pick, and that wouldn't even belong to them. It'd go to the Detroit Lions. Listen, at least they can say they got the championship at the end of the day. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. They got the chip, and just call the season a loss. Cooper Kupp's done for the season. Matthew Stafford's done for the season. And more likely than not, Aaron Donald's probably done for the season as well. So the Seahawks are a better team, period, in all facets of the ball right now, especially with all the injuries. So give me the Seahawks to win minus the 6.5. We go to Vegas, where the Raiders, who have won their last 2 games in overtime, are going to be hosting the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers came off a big win, a very close win against the Arizona Cardinals. I have the Chargers winning here, plus the 2.5. I think it's going to be very, very close between 2 AFC West rivals, but I think the Chargers will get the job done here. The final game of the 4 o'clock is an AFC Championship game rematch. This is a game that I think should have been on Sunday Night Football, if not for the Cowboys, but I'll get to them in a second. The Bengals have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs the last 2 times. One in Week 17 in the NFL season that clinched the Bengals the AFC North, and then the AFC Championship game where the Chiefs were up 21-3, and the Bengals came all the way back and won in overtime. A wonderful moment in Cincinnati sports history. But I do think the Chiefs will get their revenge here, even though it's in Cincinnati. And I do think the Bengals are a really good team, and I think they are a playoff team. I think the Chiefs have the MVP of the league right now, Patrick Mahomes, and I think they're going to get the job done at 4 o'clock from the 4 o'clock game and proceed the Chiefs to win outright. For Sunday Night Football, this should not have been the game. It should have been the one previous. It's the Dallas Cowboys hosting the Indianapolis Colts. It's a Super Bowl V rematch, a game in which Chuck Howley, who will make the Hall of Fame in 2023, won MVP, the only MVP of a losing team. Listen, I am so sad that this is going to be Matt Ryan's final Sunday Night Football game. It's a real sad end to his Hall of Fame resume, in my opinion. Hall of Fame resume. But the Cowboys are just a better team overall. They have one of the best defenses in the league. Their running game is fantastic. Meanwhile, the Colts offense has not been good. Their offensive line is atrocious. Their defense has been mediocre. Their running game has not been good. Give me the Cowboys to win minus 10.5. Yes, I see them winning outright. See a complete blowout. No question. If they make it interesting, I'd be surprised. And finally, for Monday night, in the NFC South matchup, it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers hosting the New Orleans Saints. Saints have not been good. They just got shut out by the 49ers. Meanwhile, the Buccaneers, they lost in overtime to the Browns. But I think the Buccaneers are the better team here. Give me the Buccaneers to win minus a 3.5. And the 2 teams on buys this week are the Arizona Cardinals and the Carolina Panthers. Man, just like 2015, that was the NFC Championship game. And now look at them. I mean, at least the Panthers could still realistically win their division. But, yeah. Well, that's my thoughts, guys. What are your picks and predictions for Week 13 of the NFL season? Let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe to Zenny62 for more. Like this video. Hit notifications on for more details. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.